Many of you know that I followed Gannon Stauch, the Letecia Stauch case from the beginning. In fact, this case is what prompted me to start making content for the channel this past September. I know many of you are also familiar and have followed and continue to follow the case, Letecia Stauch's case. For those ones that haven't, 11-year-old Gannon Stauch was reported missing from his Lorson Ranch neighborhood on January 27th of 2020 in Colorado. Gannon's body was found in a suitcase under a bridge in Pace, Florida on March 18th, and I don't know if it was found that day or just announced to the public that day, but nonetheless, on March 18th, that's when it was announced that little Gannon's body was found in Pace, Florida. And his stepmom, Letecia Stauch, is believed to be the last person that saw Gannon alive. What I'm going to do in this video, WTAF YouTube channel had an interview, and the lady speaking, I'm going to call her Lady Caller because I don't know her name, but she's saying that her son was best friends with Gannon, and so she's got a few things to say, and she makes a couple of bombshells, in my opinion. Definitely one huge bombshell, but I'm going to get right on into it. So again, we're going to call the lady that did the interview, Lady Caller. And allegedly, Lady Caller knows the Stauch family. She states she wanted to reach out in regards to Lena being abused. She said she personally seen this, and she reported the abuse on Lena in May of 2019. And I've also heard about the abuse prior to hearing Lady Caller say it. I've heard that abuse did occur in the home. But Lady Caller saying she was told in confidence from Gannon about the abuse and never said anything because they were told if they said anything, her son and Gannon would not get to see each other again. She says that she was a school volunteer and there was an incident with Lena. Lena had a fat lip. She asked Lena about this. And Lena said that Letecia pushed her into a closet door frame because she didn't put her laundry in the basket the correct way. Lady Caller is saying that Al was aware of this and that Gannon helped Al to cover it up because Gannon did not want to get into any trouble. Lady Caller says the two children were played against each other, and they were told if they said anything bad about Letecia, then they would get into trouble. Lady Caller goes on to say, and the name WTAF, they blurred out the name, but she goes on to say that most people don't know who this person is yet that she's talking about, but Al does. However, Al will not acknowledge this person's existence since March the 19th. Caller says before March 19th, Al and this person spoke daily. But then on March the 19th, all communication ceased. But Landon does speak to this person constantly. But Al turned his back on the person. She says that all of this information has been turned over to law enforcement, as well as her phones, and I guess her son's phone. She's done interviews with the FBI, police department. She says that her son and Gannon and their family were close, that she bought Gannon a recorder for school because they felt bad he did not have one, and it was really cheap, only like $3. And Al and Letecia were, quote, put off over them buying this recorder for Gannon. And she says again that he was in constant contact with Al, mentioning the man that I don't know the name of just a few minutes ago, but until March 19th, him and Al were in constant contact, and that's significant because, again, that's when it was announced. I thought it was announced March 18th, but she's saying March 19th that Gannon's body was found in Pace, Florida. Lady Caller says Gannon spoke to her son about the abuse, but not her. And he was told if he said anything that they would never see each other again. And Lady Caller said her son did keep that from her, unfortunately. Lady Caller said she's been told both children tried to reach out to their teachers and it was pushed aside. And that's also another allegation that I've heard in the past before this lady spoke. I heard months ago that these children did try to reach out to the school and they weren't believed, or I don't know if it's they weren't believed, but they did not want to deal with it. So I did hear this same thing, and I think Critical K is actually the one where I either saw it or heard it on her channel. But Lady Caller says that she's also heard that that same night that Gannon was killed, Letecia allegedly tried to make Lena swallow a quarter. Lady Caller says that she believes Al was mentally abusive to Gannon and Lena both. Gannon was very respectful, very disciplined. Lady Caller says Harley was the, quote, princess. Harley got the nice stuff, the nice bedroom. Little Gannon he had a very bare bedroom. He had a bed, a dresser, a small toy box, just a very bare bedroom. And this right here, I've heard about this, a fight that occurred, but Lady Caller says a huge fight at the end of Gannon's memorial. She said that the video will probably surface soon, but Al's sister verbally attacked Landon as she was exiting the church. Lady Caller says she walked Landon to her car and told her to ignore it. It started over Landon introducing herself to Al's new girlfriend. Al's new girlfriend wouldn't make eye contact with Landon, and Landon said, quote, just so you know, I'm not a bad person. Then allegedly Al's sister was set off by this, saying everything was Landon's fault. And again, I've heard about that little spat at the memorial, Gannon's memorial, months back. But let's go on. She says, Lady Caller says she's not certain about custody because Al's attorney, quote, is a snake, and he keeps pushing the date back. Al has tried to discredit Lady Caller a few times, but he's not able to because she said it's the truth. What Lady Caller says she knows will mess up the timeline as we, the public, know it. So basically she's saying the affidavit is not the correct timeline from what I'm gathering. Lady Caller says her son wanted to be in contact with Lena to make sure Lena was okay, but Al told her that her son needs to forget and move on. Al refused any contact between her son and Lena. Lady Caller says that 2 days after Gannon was found, Al and his girlfriend Heather went out in the open with their relationship. They didn't feel the need they had to hide it any longer, so they weren't hiding it. And also, I've heard all this as well before Lady Caller done the interview, and that Heather was the mistress. So again, I've heard this for 4 months now, but she's saying, Lady Caller said that allegedly Heather Al and Heather went out one night and left Lena at this house, I guess that Heather was staying at possibly, and that when this person, this adult at that house woke up, she did not even know who Lena was. So that was kind of strange, that Al is, allegedly he left Lena somewhere where the person there didn't even know who the little girl was. So very interesting. And this is the bombshell that I was flabbergasted. Lady Caller says that she walked in on Al loading a gun around, I think it was the 28th, around the time that Gannon went missing, but she walked in on Al loading a gun, and he had on a black jacket. Al was loading the gun. Al left. He went out, to 1:15, and it's believed Al knew where Gannon was after Gannon was dead, and he shot Gannon, and he took his truck, and he washed it. And then there was about 4 hours where no one knows or knew where Al and Letecia were on that day. So again, I was flabbergasted when I heard that. Of course, it's going through my mind, why would he do that? You know, obviously to help cover up, but again, why? If the child is dead already and you know about it, why are you going to go and shoot him? So that does not make sense, but I'm just letting you guys know what she said. Lady Caller goes on to say Al was in National Guard, not the Army. He would tell everyone Army just because it sounded better, but in fact he was in the National Guard. What I'm gathering, Lady Caller is saying that allegedly Letecia snapped due to finding out about Al and the affair that he was having. And what she's saying, Lady Caller's saying she does not think Al ever went to Oklahoma for that National Guard training. She believes he was with Heather during this time. And as you guys look back at the affidavit, it does say that Al was in Oklahoma training, but she's saying no, that he was not, that she thinks he was with Heather, and Letecia found out, and Letecia snapped, killed Gannon, and Al helped to cover it up. So again, for appearance sake is what she's saying, the reason Al helped. So again, very, very interesting. She says, and I've heard this before, that Heather could possibly be pregnant, the mistress. I don't know. I heard that at the beginning, but Lady Caller references the eulogy where Al says something as far as, you'll be good to your baby sister in 2020. I didn't take it that way. If you guys go back and listen to the eulogy that Al gave, but, you know, just whatever you guys think. I did not take it the way Lady Caller took it. But, let's see what's next. I know there's a few more things. There was just a ton of information, and I tried to get it all. It was 2 hours long, so it was just trying to write down the highlights from it. All right, Lady Caller says that Gannon went to the Bahamas with Letecia and Al by himself. Lena did not get to go because she was being disciplined. And Lady Caller says Gannon left the house on the 27th, but that person, and I'm going to say person, the kid that we're seeing getting in the truck, and I'm going to play that clip as well. Lady Caller does not believe that was Gannon getting in the truck with Letecia. And if not, oh my gosh, I have so many questions. That's very strange that she would have, for one, another little boy in her care that should be at school. But even if he were out of school for a reason, why does she have the little boy? And then I don't know if it's played through yet on the screen, but I've got the ADT system log showing motion in the house when Letecia and the little boy, who I thought was Gannon, or I think is Gannon, arrived back to the house. We see 2 motion in the house. So, you know, that's huge to me too. But Lady Caller's saying that she believes it's another little boy in the neighborhood, and that FBI has all of this in their report, and they just, I guess, have not done anything with it yet. And here's another thing. I've heard this before, but she confirmed that Landon and Letecia did work together in the past and were on a softball team. Lady Caller says Letecia was trying to use her for an alibi, but since Lady Caller's son was in the hospital, that did not work out. Lady Caller says when Gannon went missing, she was going over to Letecia's to help them search. She says when she arrived there, Letecia had this big story already planned, this elaborate story, fire, drugs, just a long story. Letecia tried so hard to get Lady Caller to go downstairs, but something was telling Lady Caller, don't do it. So apparently Letecia wanted to show Lady Caller where Gannon burned the carpet. Remember the candle that you've seen in the video I'm playing here? But she wanted, to show her that candle or something, harm her. Who knows? Lady Caller's glad she didn't go down there, she says. But Lady Caller says there were drugs in Letecia's house. There were blunts rolled, so there were joints. Crystal meth, bath salts, and remember bath salts? That's what we're seeing here on this screen now. I can't believe that aligned up with what I'm speaking of because I actually recorded this beforehand, the screen shows, so that's crazy that lined up. But yeah, bath salts. So if you guys have been following from the beginning, you'll remember Letecia texting about none other than bath salts. But Lady Caller says Letecia possibly wanted her prints down in the basement, or maybe something worse. Maybe she was going to actually harm or kill her. Who knows? She just wanted her down there very, very badly is what Lady Caller is saying. But as far as the drugs, Lady Caller's saying that she believes since Letecia told her they were found in Gannon's backpack that, or this is my guess, kind of like, see, this is what, Gannon's doing or his friends are doing, stuff like this. But Lady Caller says there's a lot of things that the public just don't know. Landon is aware but not allowed to speak about it. Lady Caller said she's tired of everyone seeing Al as this perfect person. Landon was in a car accident, and that's how Al and Letecia got custody. Landon was in the hospital and couldn't care for her children. Lady Caller talked about the Heather, Al's girlfriend. Again, the pregnancy eulogy, and again, watch it and see what you guys think. Because I thought he was referring to Nova, Landon's other daughter. But later Caller is stating that Letecia killed Gannon to hurt Al and Landon. And Al did what he did to cover it up for appearance sake. So Al found out and helped her cover it up so he wouldn't look bad. I guess because she killed Gannon over the affair and he didn't want the community, his friends, his family to find out because it would make him look bad. So she's saying she believes that's why Al helped cover everything out. I don't know. I mean, I've heard all the accusations about the abuse and all, but as far as, the cover-up and all that, honestly, I just don't know. I mean, that's all I can say. But keep in mind also that, remember, if you guys have followed the case from the beginning, you may know I done that live with KitKat on YouTube, and she's actually in contact with Letecia. They write one another letters, and she has some recorded phone calls with Letecia and herself. So if you guys want to go back and listen to that, I can link them in the comments if you need the link, but it should be under my Letecia Stauch, Gannon Stauch playlist. But, have a listen to those and keep all of this in mind, because remember in that letter and phone call, Letecia does say that Al and Eduardo should be held accountable and be brought up on manslaughter. But let's have a look at the clip where I'm thinking it's Gannon getting into the truck when Letecia and him left the house. But Lady Caller is saying, in fact, she does not believe it to be Gannon. She thinks it's another little boy. The little boy walking out to the truck. Some say that it is not Gannon, and it may not be, but I have so many questions. If it's not Gannon, then why would Letecia have someone else's child in her care, and only that child? Because we're going to see, and I'm going to pause it and talk throughout, but we're going to see Letecia get out of the truck, and then a little boy, or what appears to be a little boy, come out. You're going to see he drops something. We see that item fall to the ground. For whatever reason, he can't bend, or he don't bend over to retrieve that item. Instead, he waits for Letecia to come out, and she bends over and picks it up for him. But I'm going to play it and pause it to show you guys exactly what I'm referencing. Alright, that's Letecia getting out of the truck. Alright, there's Gannon. You guys see him right there. I paused it. I'm gonna go back just a bit. Or what I believe to be Gannon, but he's walking out to the truck. You guys see the movement, white stripe on his pants leg. And then watch, he's going to drop something. You see that? I'm gonna play it again. Watch in front of him. So either he dropped something right there falling to the ground, or it fell out of the truck. Honestly, I can't tell, but definitely something went to the ground. You see it. I keep replaying. All right. So the little boy's just standing there. You see the white striped pants. All right, there's Letecia. Rewind. Letecia. And you see Letecia bend over. Again. Letecia comes out. She bends over. She retrieves the dropped item. She goes to the front. And then that's when the little boy, you can see he's stepping up to get in the truck. Right there. Alright, so they're both in the truck now. But what do you guys think? I mean, it's being said that it's not Gannon. Oh, I can't. Play and then pause again. It's not cooperating with me now. But again, you know, actually, hold on. Yeah, okay, that's, so she got back out of the truck. Let's go back to where they both get in. Since I'm playing this slow. Alright, so she's picking up the item that the little boy dropped. They're getting in the truck. Okay. She got back out of the truck. She's getting back in. And we see she doesn't appear. Yeah, so I guess everything, little boy's obviously in the truck. Alright, but let me know what you guys think. This video, I just have so many questions. If that's not Gannon, why would Letecia have another little boy in her care? And I'm going to show you, if I haven't already shown, I'm not sure, because I'm actually playing this a little bit before I'm recording my video on it. But the ADT system showed when Letecia returns, we do not see anyone exiting this side of the vehicle other than Letecia, but that does not mean that Gannon was not with her. As the affidavit says, they're pretty sure that Gannon was with her and exited on the other side because the ADT motion sensors in the house does show movement of 2 individuals in the house when she got back. At the timestamp here, went in the house, 2 individuals went in, there's motion. So again, if it's not Gannon, who is it? Who's this little boy? Why was this little boy in Letecia's care? So many questions with this case. And here's the video where Letecia comes back home, and I can't see. I've really tried. I've watched this probably 1,000 times, and I'm not exaggerating. But Letecia, we see her getting out. We don't see anyone else getting out on this side, but the shadows are so far back, and you'll see that when she opens her door, that we're not going to be able to see a shadow, in my opinion, of anyone getting out on the other side. And it is in the affidavit that says that they're assuming that Gannon got out on that other side, or somebody, so if it's not Gannon, the assumption is someone got out on the other side, because again, the movement inside of the Stauchs house. You should see her getting out. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the screen. Maybe she already got out. I think it takes her a minute. And then it looks like she has some bags in her hand. Yeah, you can see movement in the truck. Alright, so that was, we see one person getting out, Letecia, I'm assuming, but not the other. But let me know what you guys think about these. I'm going to call them bombshells. It's crazy that timeline on the affidavit, it's being said that that's not the correct timeline. Very interesting, to say the least. But let me know your guys' thoughts on all of this.